Tuesday. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back
Tuesday.
to the Nerd Related Podcast. This last week was gone in, let's say, Flash.
Can you say corny? It's
How was your week, man?
good, man. I'm finally over this damn earache.
Finally,
So,
right before vacation.
right before vacation, it only took 23 days.
That's a long time to be fucked up.
Bro, I don't know. Whatever COVID did, bro, like, it's bringing back diseases that we were already over that never happened to adults. That's just becoming more and more common. I don't know, dog. I don't know if it's because we were all locked up in general and not like in constant contact with it, right? Like, because
Yeah,
I had to wear masks at work even when I was at work. So there was like that brief period where we weren't always onslaughted with the bacteria and shit. And now that we are, I think we don't know what to do. But I don't know. There's been an uptick in ear infections apparently.
yeah, because I
It
didn't.
was not fun, y'all. I had to play video games with one ear out, couldn't really hear shit. It was bad. But
That's a
we
lot.
back. I feel great. Vacations next week. We're going to Mexico. Two of my good friends are getting married. So that's always something to celebrate. And then shit, a Mexico vacation. I mean,
I don't know. I'll be out there.
getting it in. I never been to a beach wedding, so
Ooh,
I'll be
be
wearing
fire.
some boat shoes, some shorts, and a short sleeve button up. See what happens. Got a lot of people that we know that we don't work with no more that are going, so that'll be cool. Should be fun time.
That's
What
what's
about you,
up.
man? How you feeling?
Feel good. Work went good. My daughter's 2 months old now. She's sleeping through the night. A lot more chill. So that's been going good. Um, yeah, man. Not a lot. Finished, caught up with Yellow Jackets. That show was fire, pure fire. That show was amazing. Love it. Other than that, man, I don't know. Dead Island 2 dropped. I want to get that.
You
So
want to
yeah.
get it? I know you tagged me on a couple of things, but what makes you the most excited for it? I mean, that island was fun. I feel like it's been over a decade since the first one. I don't even remember the last time I played that game.
Yeah, I don't even think myself. Yeah, it's been at least 9 years. What makes me most excited about it? I don't know. I just remember having fun
It's
playing it.
fun.
I like my memories. Like when I think about video games and that game comes up, I just think about playing it and having a good time. I love zombies. So love killing zombies. And then nice change of pace, man. I've been playing shooters nonstop for
Forever.
I don't know how long, man. Sprinkling a couple sports games here and there. It'd be good to play something different. It's co-op. You know, and then game we no one was even talking about or expecting. So 3 million copies or whatever it was in like 2 days or something. That's
That's
crazy.
good.
No, like nobody was talking about it at all or nothing.
It looks fun. I
So,
mean, I know you have to play for a little bit to unlock guns. So that first portion of the game is just a hack and slash, trying to get people.
yeah, 'cause I remember last time to get guns, you like there was military people around, and you had like kill them and like to grab them. Or other than that, there was like maybe like a few in here sprinkled around, but I'm not worried about guns, man. I just want to go out there and but crack
Boom. I think I'm
heads,
going to
man.
pick the Paralympian with the fake legs.
Drop
I
kick
just want to
somebody.
be somebody fast,
Yeah, I'll
move
probably pick one of
around
the big dudes, you know, the bigger
real
guys.
slow. You like the bigger dudes?
Handle because you handle some damage, man. Because I remember that game
Oh,
getting
yeah. No, it does matter. Like the littler dudes die way quicker.
yeah. So I'm
I
definitely
looked
excited
it
for
up because I know you've been super excited. Obviously, we're gonna play it because it's co-op, and that'll be a nice change of pace. I got to figure out how I can have both our faces. I know I can do it. I just had to get creative. But like when we stream the game, I want to see if I can put both of our faces on the stream live. So I don't know if I can get you to call me on like Facebook or something, and then I can offer your phone or maybe even on the computer with the camera, and I can kind of like show that as an extra screen on like an overlay on top of it just with your face. I don't know. I
yeah.
think I think we can do it. I just have to I have to figure it out. I have strong enough internet to do it. I have a gig up and down, so it can be done.
Yeah,
But
I definitely want to you.
we've
Yeah,
been
my
looking
girl.
up this stuff. I think it'll be cool to co-op it together with both of our faces on there. It's something different that you don't see too frequently, anyways, on anyone's stream, even on
For
people
sure.
that stream as a part of groups or organizations. So I think that would be cool.
Yeah, and I remember like having the dark comedy and the fun like it's gonna be just be a fun zombie bash them up, man. And
Yeah, bash it up.
I'm, I want that because the what was that last zombie game we tried to play that co-op one? I was like,
We try to play a
forgot.
co-op game. I don't even remember.
It was zombie one, and it was on Game Pass, I think.
Oh yeah, it wasn't Left 4 Dead. It
Mm-mm.
was it was a
But it was
zombie
very
game
Left 4
though.
Dead esque though.
Yeah, it was.
They
What
tried
was
it.
that game called?
They tried it.
It definitely was Left 4 Dead esque. I can't even
Mm-hmm.
remember what the hell it was called.
Oh, that's how good it was.
Blood something. Bloodbound. Blood Bloodhound.
Dude,
Let me
I
check.
can't remember because I
I'll
played
check
it
the
for
Game
like,
Pass. It's on Game Pass. Let me check on my phone.
dude, I played it for like a day or two or something. I don't know. But it had cool aspects of it though. Like
Hold
you
on,
could play.
dude. This is crazy. I am in my basement. In my basement.
Mhm.
And Alexa is talking to me 4 rooms away. Alexa, stop listening. Absolutely insane. The microphone on these devices, bro, to pick up what you're saying. There is literally a roof in between us. There is no direct path for sound to get to my living room from here. And it heard me asking a question on the podcast and started answering me through the speaker upstairs. That is insane.
Hey, people want to know what you're talking about.
Insane.
They want to know what you're talking about.
Well, if you want to know that bad, Amazon, how about you listen to my podcast and promote it? Where was the zombie game? We were looking at zombie games.
I'm hearing that vampire game ain't looking too hot. I don't know though.
Well, at least we get to try it for free because Game
Yeah,
Pass is the best.
that was just hearsay though. Just some random person at my job.
Well, a lot of people are just weird when it comes into that. Why can't I? Is this the right app? Nope, wrong app. I don't understand why the Game Pass app and the Microsoft app are 2 separate apps. Like that doesn't.
Yeah,
It's just
sense.
dumb. It's just dumb. Okay, Redfall's coming out next week Tuesday, and I won't be here, so you're gonna have to wait on that. But that'll be interesting. Redfall. Okay, all games. You know what we should have did and played together? It's on the Game Pass. We should do it. I hear it's a short game. It's called A Way Out. You co-op your way out of like a prison or something. Seems interesting. I want to say it was Blood. Oh, Back for Blood. That's what it was. Back for Blood is what you're talking
I wonder if
about.
it's better now.
Back for Blood.
Because they had that cool mode where like one team could be like the humans and the other team could pick like different zombies and stuff. And like the more points you had, like the better like bigger zombies you could pick and stuff. I thought that game was cool, but like I didn't have enough friends playing. I think me, you, and Greg played it for a couple of days.
Yep.
It was tough though too, man.
No, it was hard. I remember a couple times I was like, "Yo, they just keep coming and coming and coming and coming." It was super tough.
But it was a little janky from the start. Most games are these days because they try to push them out as fast as they can. And
Battlefield's a prime example of that. I mean, a whole
Mm-hmm.
year. So I know we've been talking about Dead Island. There's some excitement. My buddy Zach and Dan still to this day play Dead Island 1 like together on co-op, just messing around. When we were shooting, we're on the same shooting team for shotguns. They would talk about how they would go. They always try to get me to play co-op games because it's their thing. They're not into like shooters. So they try to get me to play to like Strange Brigade, which is a 4-player co-op type game that's interesting, kind of like a little looter. They play the hell out of Dead Island. They play a bunch of other shit. But so I started looking at it because I know you want to play it and we like the first one. So I wanted to look at how do you unlock co-op. So I searched it up today. So you can pick from 6 players, obviously. So there's a never-ending onslaught of zombies. But to create or activate a co-op new game, you have to play through the first 3 missions of the main story. So you have to unlock.
Okay.
So co-op unlocks in the fourth, appropriately named Call the Cavalry. So you'll be able to add at most 2 players. So you can do 3 people. So that's cool.
Sweet.
To your game, choosing either online options or social when prompted. Once co-op is enabled, as long as they're at the same point in the game or earlier, you can accept a friend's request to join their game. So this is something we have to play together, because if anyone gets ahead, then we won't be able to play together.
I'm down.
You can also join random people's games. Quest progress saves in co-op, so you'll be able to play the entire game while alternating between single and multiplayer. Okay. So you can play solo by yourself if you want to.
Oh, okay. So then, yeah, you can pick like a different person, give it a run through like that.
There's no crossplay. So unfortunately, I feel like that should be a must for everyone developing video games today, but no
Yeah.
crossplay.
Yeah, selling 3 million copies. There's no crossplay again. That's big.
I think it's gonna be fun. I definitely want to be somebody fast though. I don't want to be a tank. I want to be somebody that has something to lose, somebody that got to bob and weave.
Yeah. Well, being that's the perk of co-op though. You know what I'm saying? You could be whatever you be, and then you have someone like me to pick up this flag with a bigger dude. You know, so it'd be fun. I'm down. I'll probably get it. Probably get it Friday.
Wonder how long it is. You think we can knock it out in a weekend? Let's see.
Ooh, I don't know. Last time I know we couldn't. That game is a little beefy and it's a little tough.
So Dead Island is 20 to 25 hours.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, we could. We powered through it.
All right, let's see. This is on Game Radar. So how long will it take to beat Dead Island 2 will depend on whether you just want to complete, excuse me, the main campaign or see everything that the Hell A has to offer. So if you solely focus on a 24 story quest and avoid many distractions, then you should be able to roll the credits after around 15 hours. We could definitely knock that out this weekend if we really want to.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, there are 33 side quests and 15 lost and found quests, which will probably take you another 10 to 15 hours, depending on how many you cleared during the campaign. And these are definitely worth completing, as they'll get you some of the best Dead Island 2 weapons available. If you want a 100% completionist, then there are also 84 challenges to beat, which could take you considerably longer, but it does reward you with $1 million in cash, apparently, in the game. So 25 to 30 hours if you do side missions. We can knock out 15 hours, though, bro. Like Friday afternoon, log
For
on
sure.
as soon as I get out of work. We could probably play a good 6 to 8 hours in a row and just kind of blow through it.
I'm hip.
Easy peasy.
Hey, let's make that a challenge. See if
I'm
we can
with
beat Dead Island 2 this weekend. Nerd-related challenge. I'll make a TikTok too. Like,
Let's do it.
In Dead Island. See if we can knock it out in 2 days.
Co-op, baby.
I'm down. See, that makes me more excited. There we go. When Brian gets excited, I like to get excited.
Oh man, I'm with it. We could try it. We'll do it. So I mean, as long as we stay committed between,
I think she's down too. All 3 of us run through it
between Friday and Saturday. I don't really have no plans. Do I have plans? So Friday for sure, I don't have no plans. Saturday morning, I have to go get a haircut and get ready for the trip, but that'll only probably take me like 2 hours. The rest of the day, I don't have nothing. And then Sunday.
See, I don't got my Bucks hat on today.
Yeah, I know. Yikes.
Bro.
Yikes.
We're about to get knocked out by the sorry Doc. Okay, I know this is, Never That Podcast, but you can be nerdy about sports too, okay? You can be nerdy about sports too. And it's a big topic. We're both from Milwaukee, whatever. Damn. Like, dude, coach, coach, he's a good coach, man. But like right now, he's getting wins from how dope our team is. Get him out of there. I need something fresh. I need something new. He's got to go.
So I feel like he's never really been a good coach. I feel like we won in spite of him that year because it just happened to be destiny. But he never. So his glaring issue, and this is what separates great coaches from decent coaches,
You don't make no
is
changes.
so he doesn't adjust in game. So like he'll adjust. This is, and you can look back as long as he's been a coach of the Bucks. So like he will make an adjustment from one game to the other. That's why we lose by 20 and the next game we win by 20 because in between game adjustments, he's really good at that. But in the game, as it's happening, he's might be the worst in the whole NBA. Like it is atrocious. Nobody does anything. So like,
Bro,
it's
this
just
man dropped
wild,
56 and we didn't double team him.
dude. Not only that, not only do you not double team. So clearly, the game plan from game 3 to game 4 was Jimmy can't beat us by himself. So let him go. Stay on your
Wrong.
man. Don't help, and we won't lose because Jimmy can't be. Guess what? You were wrong. So during the game, once you realize, like, oh shit, or I don't know, maybe during the 13-0 run in a 2-minute span, maybe you call a timeout. Maybe you say, hey,
Nope.
how about we go over the pick and roll instead of under the pick and roll? How about Brooks shows? How about you double team? How about we put Giannis on him? Because clearly nothing else has worked. Like, Deuce, something for the love of God.
Bro, before they go on a 13-0 run, call a timeout.
Call a time. Call as many timeouts as you can.
Dude, no, we were up. We were like 13 in when the fourth quarter started, and you let them. I don't know how long that run went out, dude. Once you you hit me with 2 3-point shots in a row.
Boop, timeout. Boop. So we were up 10 starting the fourth quarter. And around the 7-minute mark, the 7 or 6 minute mark is when that run started. And it was just once they took the lead, I was like, it's over. Like, we're not going to win this game because the crowd was in it. Jimmy was feeling himself. He couldn't miss. I've been so mad since the game ended yesterday, since before the game ended. Like, you have a 15-point lead with 7 minutes left in the game. In a crucial,
I would have forced the rest of the team to beat me. I would have double teamed them on every damn
everyone else make a shot. Everyone else make a shot. I'm picking them up full court, and once he crosses half court, we're helping, we're trapping him, we're double teaming. You know what? Strauss hit a 3-pointer. Don't care. I don't care who else is hit. If we lose that way, I'm fine with it. Jimmy's not going to come up and pull up from 3 from the top of the key with no one in front of him with 45 seconds left. I'm done. I don't even want to talk about it, bro. I've been so mad since yesterday. I don't even want to talk about it.
The last thing I want to say about it is like, why did Crowder play like no minutes? He's one of our best wing defenders, if not our best, besides Giannis.
I think his back is hurt because when he was on the bench, he had like pads on his back or something.
And dude, like what? And then attack the basket, bro. We just started shooting up so many threes, dog. Like, yeah, we're off that, guys. Sorry about that.
I legit don't even want to talk. We used to have a sports podcast. My buddy Mark, Farley, Andy, Sate sometimes. It was a nerd-related sports edition, but that fell off, just like our podcast for this fell off. At some point, I want to get it back going, but we're still getting in the rhythm. Now me and Ray are committed to, the weekly thing. We haven't failed yet. We got this rolling. So at some point, it just takes time. The editing like if I had somebody to edit, I could pump out way more stuff. It's just so hard to do all this shit with the full-time job. Anyways, Dead Island Challenge coming this weekend.
And then today, guys, if you haven't seen it or didn't care about seeing it, whatever, another Flash trailer drops. And before you would think I was hyped, I made a TikTok talking about this one was even better. It looks so amazing. So amazing. Dude, Ben Affleck's jet comes pulling up, shoots out his motorcycle. Then he's got, dude, Michael Keaton was like, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Like, dude, what are you trying to do to me, DC? Like, dog, I'm saying, like, I was in the car. I parked and I didn't get out. I was just watching that thing, man. Like, dude, Michael Keaton, like I've been complaining about movies having Batman in there, not doing Batman things. This movie had multiple Batmen doing Batman things, and I'm So in love with it, like so in love with it, man. Dude, when Zod jumped on the Batwing and then he ejected himself out and started flying, I was like, oh my god, this looks cold, man.
So it looks like I'm trying to find it again because I saw one of the pages I follow on Facebook said so today there's some type of con. I'm sorry guys, I don't know what type of con it is. I try to look for it. But earlier I saw there's some type of like Comic Con or whatever, and they're gonna screen the movie tonight. So like
That's
a
crazy.
group of people get to watch it and they're gonna let them post their reaction. So they're supremely confident in the movie to let them do that. So they're gonna allow them to post their reactions, not any spoilers, but how they feel about the movie. So that's gonna be super exciting. That's gonna come out later tonight, probably. People just going crazy talking about
I
it. So
can't
that's
wait. I'm gonna be
exciting.
looking for some
So they
tweets.
released this trailer on that, like on the anticipation of people are gonna talk about the movie here in a couple minutes. So it comes out June 16th. The trailer looked awesome. There's a lot of moments. What I saw was, and I can't confirm, but so this movie takes place 30 years after Batman, Michael Keaton's Batman. So it's 30 years since the first Batman movie that we watched. Um Keaton's Batman, anyways. So that's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be interesting. He's definitely obviously he's old, right? But a lot has happened in Gotham, in his Gotham before. I like in the trailer, he was like, I spent my whole life, trying to change,
I was just gonna say this.
how things went over, how things happened when my family got killed, but you were able to do it. So I think those two Batmans are gonna contrast. Michael Keaton's Batman is gonna be like, hey, if I had the opportunity to change the past, I spent my whole life trying to change it. And Ben Affleck's Batman, we've seen him in the trailer tell him like, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Like, what are going to be the repercussions of you doing that? So that's going to be interesting. That contrast should be cool. It looks
No,
cool. Also, when they were dropping out of the Batwing, he was like to the two flashes, to the two berries. He was like, "Your parachutes are hooked up." He's like, "Where's your parachute?" And then he just drops down like, "I don't need no parachute, boy."
dog. Like, man, I'm not.
So
I don't want
good.
to let DC trailers hype me up anymore, but I think it's gonna be the best movie ever made.
I definitely ain't going there.
Dog,
I
it looks.
definitely ain't going there.
It looks sick.
It does. Supergirl looks cool, and there's a part in there that she's screaming at someone, which I assume is Barry, because she's like, "What are
What did
you
you do?
doing?" Yeah, or some shit like that. Um, so it's gonna be interesting.
She could be talking to Zod as well.
She could, but it's gonna be one of those where the two Barrys are fighting because one of them wants to change it back and the other one doesn't. So like
It looked like they were buddy buddy the whole time. So
no,
we'll
so in
see.
this trailer, if you pay attention, he's one of them's like kneeling down and he looks like he wants to run, and the other one is like he's like, I wanna change it or some shit. And the one that's standing up is like, no, we can't change it. So it looks like there's gonna be that moment where like one of them wants to undo it and the other one's like, no, like mom's alive or whatever. That'll be interesting.
It's gonna be the hype is real, baby. The DC hype is real.
Ray
And then
is
James
way more
Gunn came
hyped than anyone else.
talked about he wants to do Static Shock. The black kid from Stranger Things has been talking about he would love to play him. So
Oh, for sure. That would be dope.
that's a perfect fit. Love Static Shock. Get him on his garbage can lid, flying around. All for that. So back on the video game train. You know, I wanted to rooting for it, but there's a lot of things coming that might uh stagger Mario, but he's at 800 and something million.
Oof.
He's close to a billion, but Evil Dead kind of dropped it off a little bit, and the Guardians of the Galaxy I think is going to swamp it.
Oh yeah. Guardians comes out this weekend, yeah, or next weekend. Next
So,
weekend.
but
So
there's still time,
yeah, they
you
can
know.
get so this weekend coming up is the last weekend for Mario to really kill it as the number one movie at the theaters. So right now it is at officially, according to Variety, they're at 871 million at the global box office. So it is rolling down the hill or up
Close.
to $1 billion. So it's gonna be the first. If it gets to $1 billion, I think it's the first one this year. I don't think no movies hit $1 billion this year.
Yeah.
So
Shoot.
over the
It's
last
going this
weekend,
weekend. It could hit.
it still was number one, even though with Evil Dead Rise coming out, which wasn't expected to do a lot, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Still number one in the box office domestically with $58 million. That's a lot. Some movies don't do that on weekend number one.
Yeah.
And 70 million internationally.
For the whole
So
time
far,
period.
yeah, so far Mario has generated 434.33 million in North America, 437.5 million overseas. With those ticket sales, I think we're gonna get a Mario universe, y'all. At least, or a Nintendo one. I mean, they killed it. The budget
Yeah.
was blown way past it. We're getting to $1 billion. They'll just keep it out there until it reaches it, even if it's 10 million at a time.
They should. You
It's
got
just
to. It's
fun.
Mario, baby.
It's Mario. It's Mario.
Got it. You
It's
gotta hit it,
Mario.
man.
So
Gotta
that's
hit it.
cool, man. No one expected $1 billion out of Mario. I mean, somebody had to have when they made it, but I don't
I
think
knew
they
it.
ever released this movie saying, hey, this is going to be the number one animated movie of all time. I don't think no one said that, no matter where. Nobody said that was a possibility.
Charlie Day's already talking about he wants to do Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, that'll be
We got
dope.
we got talks of other stuff already gone. Like it's a thing. And it's going.
I mean, they made this movie, they started making this movie a couple years ago. So, like, it's not like they could just pump these out every year. If they might already be in development on some of these and they're just not saying it,
Yeah.
right? Because
Well,
they
Chris Pratt,
recorded a
like I
lot of
said, he
stuff.
low key said it like get ready
They
for movies like
recorded this
for
during
the next
COVID.
10 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So hey, I'm on the train. I'm on the Mario train.
It was fun. It was a
Yeah.
no agenda fun movie. I just liked it. It was good.
And the next Mario movie that comes out, I'm dressing up as Mario. Guarantee it. I'm dressing up as Mario.
So I have some overalls. So I bought some overalls because I was like, I just kind of want to buy some. I haven't had overalls since I was 10.
Yeah.
And I saw them at the Fat Man store and I was like, yo, I'm going to buy these. So I can wear them, but they're a little snug. So I got to, between now and then, I'm going to try to get real good looking. I'll put them on, put the whole mustache going, all of it.
Ooh. Gloves. Yeah. Hey, let's go, Mario, man. Hey, happy free Mario. Love ya. You never
So
let me
Ray, if you guys don't know this, we've alluded to it a couple times. Ray's super into horror movies, not my particular tea. Like I watch suspenseful stuff, I watch some scary shit, but like he's into like the gory, like real scary movies, the ones that nobody watches.
I would say this though, like I watch a lot of shit people probably don't watch, but when you got people leaving the theater and stuff like that, like I don't want to go to a movie and have to stomach my way through it. Okay, and I get the Evil Dead. It's a gross movie. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But like I don't prefer gory movies actually. Like I like a little more suspenseful, little more thought most of the time. You know, but I do want to see this Evil Dead. And then Sam Raimi, he's one of my favorite directors, not because of Spider-Man, but because of the Evil Dead. And I love that. I love Ash. He's a big part of my I don't know, my life or whatever, like my pop culture and stuff. My mom, she got me in the first Evil Dead. We watched it together. We love the Ash stuff. My mom and dad watched the Ash versus Evil Dead, like all four seasons, whatever it is. Like Ash is one of those people. He's a pop culture person, you know. He's been in video games, had his own video games, had his own shows. So Sam Raimi, I guess, hit up the director and or whoever made the movie, and they're talking about
A
I don't know.
crossover
Yeah,
connection.
kind of crossover thing, but they're in the same lane. You know what I'm saying? But like it gets distorted a little bit. But someone put out a timeline I seen that was pretty cool of the Evil Deads because Sam Raimi did like 4. I think he did 4 Evil Deads. I know you don't know, but I'm saying I'm trying to remember. I think he did like 4, and then another guy did 2, and then this guy did this one or whatever. And you know, they had a timeline about it. But that would be awesome to see Ash come back, man. You can't have enough Ash. you know. And what's the actor's name? I just love the actor who played Ash. You know what I'm talking about, B?
I can picture who you're talking about. I don't know his name though.
Yeah, he was in Spider-Man. He was a ring announcer in Spider-Man. Like,
He was also in the last Doctor Strange movie. He was the hot dog cart guy.
yeah, yeah, dude, I love that guy. I don't know why I can't remember his name. I love him so much as an actor, person. I heard him on my podcast talking to stuff. He's such a down to earth, cool person. You know what I'm saying? But he's like ultra famous. You know what I mean? But he's one of those people that's down there. I can't
Bruce
remember his name.
Campbell.
Bruce Campbell. Money. Bruce Campbell is money, baby. Like just the way he talks, carry himself. He man, it would be great to see him in the Evil Dead fighting. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever seen any of the Evil Deads with him in there?
I've seen the Ash ones. Those aren't like crazy to me though. Like,
No, they're funny. Like,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Like
It's
they're
just
but they can get gross too though.
yeah, no,
Like,
they can, but I don't. I just like it's not my thing, right? Like watching people peel skin off of themselves or chunks of their body, like that's not for me. Like
yeah.
it's never been anything I've like I want to watch this shit. Like it doesn't.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to go to a movie, have to try to stomach my way through it, but I do. I'm like, oh, I do like that kind of show. I'm like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not bad, it's cool, but they blew their expectations out the water, obviously. You know?
Well, the movies are back, baby. We've been talking about it for a
Yes,
while.
sir.
People are going back to the movie theaters.
Clap for the movies, man. Even though
So
they try to gouge you on popcorn and soda,
that's where they make their money.
So I took my son to go see Mario last time, and I remember this for a fact. So the large popcorn and one large drink, I think was around $16, right? And then last time I went, I remember buying two drinks and soda, and it was $25. Where is you guys' math with this? So one more soda cost me $11.
Yeah, it's like $9 for one soda, like a large or some shit.
Like, yeah, you guys are
I just use
two
the
of the
Marcus
cheapest
app.
things on the
There's
planet.
usually
Soda costs
deals
less
on the
than
Marcus
water.
app.
Soda costs less than water. It does. I'm
It does.
swear to
It
God.
does. It does at the
And then
store.
popcorn. I'm paying almost $30 for two sodas and a popcorn. You're lucky I love going to the movies, and I gotta have that shit. But you guys are insane.
I mean, I gotta have pretzels, so like a pretzel combo is always in our thing. Saida sometimes gets popcorn, and we'll throw M&Ms in there, but
Dude, people that buy like beer and ice cream and stuff, you guys are rich. I don't know what you guys are doing. That is insane to me, dude. You're like ordering food. I'm not paying $8 for a slice of pizza. You guys are, hey, whoever
so
you guys are.
we'll order food sometimes from like the severe. So we have Marcus is our main theaters. We have an AMC theater, but it's like at the mall and it sucks.
Go under.
So those are our main chain is Marcus Theaters for those out there listening. So like Marcus Theaters, a lot of a lot of them have Zaffiros in them. So they'll have like a Zaffiros section. And then you go order food, they'll bring it to you, blah, blah, blah. You go order pizza, burgers, chicken tenders, whatever. So we'll sometimes occasionally get like a burger. I don't want to have a full-blown meal most of the time while I'm watching a movie because I want to be focused on the movie. So like snacks are easier, but sometimes we're hungry and we're running late and we'll just order the food there.
I don't think I've ever ordered real food from there.
It's too expensive. It's expensive, but it's decent.
Got a hot dog.
Yeah, but that's at the stand. Like you get the hot dog from the concession stand. Like this food's coming from a different section of the building.
Hey, but that hot dog, I don't know what it is about hot dogs, man, but they're old.
I love hot dogs. No, when I was little, they used to call me Wiener. So I used to be really skinny. I know, hard to believe, right? So I was like abnormally skinny. I think I might have told this story at some point, but I was like,
I don't think so.
It was like super skinny where like family members thought that something was wrong with me. Like I was just really skinny. So it became a thing and they took me to the doctor. And apparently I was too skinny at the time. So they put me like on vitamins and I think some steroids, whatever they give kids when they're like underweight. And that was the biggest mistake that could ever happen, my guy. Because look at me now. It's been so hard. Like the balloon. By the time I was 12, like it's funny, but not at the same time. Like I get some people might be sensitive about this topic. But by the time I was in middle school where I met Ray, I was already weighing like 240, 250, like a bigger dude. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
there's no middle schoolers have no business weighing that much.
Mm-hmm.
But as I started getting bigger, because I was too skinny, I was tearing hot dogs up, and my uncle used to call me like wiener or hot dog. And anytime I go to their house, I'd be like, I just want some hot dogs. I don't want no regular food.
That's
Love them.
crazy,
I
man.
still eat hot dogs. They're
Like
delicious.
also for me, man, like I think I'm trying to think when I blew up, like, because, dude, like, a lot of people don't know, like, but I'm also part black, and like when you're around family like that, they would make fun of me and mock me like that. Boy, you need to
Yeah,
eat
yeah.
something. Like, dude, I used to be really, really skinny, and I'm thinking, I don't know what happened between like it was like grade school, like maybe like third or fourth grade, or I just started, you know, getting big, and it wasn't nothing that anybody did, nothing like that. It wasn't on steroids or medication like that. My fat ass just kept beating. Shoot, my middle school science teacher gave me my she started calling me Big Ray. And then everybody started calling me Big
Big
Ray.
Ray.
Since like sixth grade, seventh grade. So that's where that came from. But I was also skinny as hell too, man.
Yeah, no, it started with like, you remember the Flintstone vitamins? It started with
Mm-hmm.
Flintstone vitamins, and then it just escalated from there.
Dude,
I
I
don't even
love
know if the Flintstone vitamins fucking did anything, but
it.
I mean, genetically, like my dad is always really, really big, and my mom's kind of bigger. So like, it was probably a mistake to, get
Yeah.
to that point. But here we are. We'll lose it eventually. We'll lose it eventually. But back to the Evil Dead, the reason we kind of want to talk about it a little is because things are coming out, right? And Mario continues to dominate, but this is a case of exceeding expectations. This movie, and I'm not interested, nor will I ever watch it, had a budget of like $2.9 million. It was like insignificant. And worldwide, it generated the first weekend $40 million. That's what studios want. That's a
Yeah.
crazy return on investment. That's a 20x for them.
Yeah.
Not considering any marketing they might have done, which the commercial is on all the fucking time.
Yeah. That
Like it
guy's
is
hired.
on all
They're
the
like,
time.
yo, get another one going, bro. Dude, he just fat stacked their pockets so hard, like with all
Yeah, I
these
was like,
movies, losing money, and no one going to see the movies. Like that's huge for a horror movie.
yeah, 23
And
million from the
it's
US,
not like Michael
16.8.
Myers or a Jason or
Yeah,
something,
yeah,
where
yeah.
there's like
It's
a
not a
huge fan base.
mainstay per se.
Huge fan base. But Evil Dead, low key, has a big fan base. That's what I'm saying. Like Ash vs. Evil Dead had like 3-4 seasons. Like that's not just for no reason. They got a good fan base. But like beware though. Like Evil Dead, it's nasty. That's it. Period. That's all I can say about those movies. They're nasty.
I mean, shout out to all the horror fans, right? Like you guys had to go to the movies to make that possible for that 40 million. So shout out to, it's a smaller fan base. You guys you showed out. You went and watched the movie. That's what matters when you care about something or a genre, or for those of you that talk a lot about we need new movies, original movies. Guess what happens when an original movie comes out? None of y'all go
Nobody
watch
gonna
it.
see it.
You don't go watch it. So like if that's what you care about, shout out to the horror fans, man. People out there spending their money on this movie. You guys went out, showed out, and made this shit a success. Hopefully now you guys get more of it. That's the end game,
Yeah.
really. You got to show out.
But also what I tell people too, like when something makes money, it's not because it sucks. Like if something's good, it's good. You know what I mean? Like period. That's it. Except for Avatar. Other than that, man, if it's good, it's good, man. It makes a lot of money. Avatar, I don't know why that movie made a bunch of money. I don't know why. I just don't. I don't get it.
I mean, visually, it's stunning. Visually, it looks crazy.
Yeah, but they didn't have to make
Crazy.
a billion, billion, million, zillion dollars. Like, dudes, like, you know, I don't
Maybe
know.
he's buying his own tickets.
Dude, he's
Maybe he
got to be
just
doing
goes.
something.
Maybe he goes
He's
to
got,
small countries and just buys out. He
he's got
sells
to be
out the
doing
theater
something.
in every small country that there is.
I'll never get it with that.
So they're not terrible movies. They're just super long, and I feel like they're not original. Like he takes and borrows from so much stuff and then denies it. Like
His
it's
own
okay
stuff
to do
too.
that as long as you admit it and accept it. But it's like, nah, that don't have like clearly there's inspiration there. Like you can
Yeah.
see it, bro. Like don't deny it.
Yeah, the only thing I like about him is like he does have nuts. He has testicle fortitude. You know what I'm saying? And when he feels strongly about something, he's gonna get it done. You know, like Terminator, one of my favorite movies ever. Man, the first two, classic. I think Terminator 2 is the greatest action movie ever made. And then there was a few in the middle. He did the last one, and he was like, "Yo, all that other crap don't
Not
got nothing to do
canon.
with it. It's
Yeah.
this one, and then this one. All that other stuff is nothing." I was like, "Yeah, that's what I'm talking about," because I hated him so much. And then it was good. He makes good movies.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm
so this
sorry.
is a passion
Avatar
for him,
Avatar was a
obviously.
bad job, but it was just too long. I could see everything coming, and then a lot of this stuff pissed me off. But if you love Avatar, man, good for you, man. I
He's a
hate that.
super. So this one's so obviously it's a passion project for him, but anything to do with water, he just loves that shit. Like he does water documentaries. So
Yeah, he
like
scuba dives and stuff
like
too, and
it's his
everything.
thing. Like that's his passion. So seeing it at that scale, like if you make a video game, if you make anything, water's the hardest thing to replicate, like
He killed.
digitally. The way that it moves and how it reacts, and like obviously they motion cap some of this and the water looks there's parts of it that they're underwater, right? Like to record.
Yeah.
But like the way that the graphics look in general, amazing, bro. It's hard to get water to do what you want it to do.
Hey, get him to do a Namor solo movie. Fire, fire.
It
Hey,
probably would be
James
fire.
Cameron does action.
I mean,
He does action.
he hates the Marvel Cinematic Universe
But the
though.
thing about it is, you're talking down about superhero movies. Your career is based off of what? Alien movie, killing robot movie, and then some alien type people. All your movies are in the superhero kind of genre. You know what I'm saying? Like he's acting like he's making Goodfellas or something. You know what I'm saying? And which I don't understand either is like movies are movies. I hate when people. The same thing goes with music, man. You gotta sound outdated, and you sound hurt when you start talking like that, man. Because no matter what it is, you don't like it. But if it's in that genre, it's that genre. Like Marvel movies are movies, horror movies are. You know what I'm saying? It's cinema. And then these people that were some of my favorite people, I don't even really like them too much no more. Quentin Tarantino talking bad about Marvel movies, James Cameron, um, uh, the dude who did Goodfellas, Martin Scorsese. I love those guys, man. There's three of my favorite people. But when you start shitting on other things because your stuff ain't making as much money, or this is what's getting pumped out there right now, I think it's just ignorant. I don't like that kind of stuff. I don't get the point of it either. You
Yeah.
know,
I mean, I don't it is what it is. Like
but that's
he just
anything like
wants to
people.
own the top for
Yeah,
James Cameron specifically, he wants to own the top revenue getting movies ever. Like Titanic is at the top of Avatar 1, Avatar 2. The dude has two, three or four of the top grossing movies of all time, in the
yeah.
top six. So like
Mhm.
he has a personal stake in it because that's what he's creating, right? He's making sure that he stays in that. And superhero movies are a challenge to that because they're so popular and hot right now. I get it, but whatever.
I
Power
don't know.
Rangers.
Yeah. Um.
What are your reactions? I feel like you didn't like it too much. I won't say it's a
No, no,
great
dude.
movie,
From the
but
jump, I was in, and I've been waiting to talk about this, dude. Big ups to whoever made that movie. Big ups to the people for still being there, and I'm coming back for this movie. And Amy Jo Johnson, I hate you. You should have been in it. Like this movie wasn't about money or whatever, man. Like, dude, okay, so Trini died long time
long
ago in
time
the
ago.
in the 90s, dude. And they went and did it so beautifully, like that she just died recently in like a fight or something like that, man. Showing respect to these people and the Green Ranger as well. You know what I'm saying? All I took away from it, dude, I like it was corny and whatever. That's Power
That's
Rangers.
Power
You
Rangers.
know,
Power Rangers is
Power
corny. That's
Rangers
just what
is
it
corny.
is.
Dude,
Corny as shit.
I loved everything about it. I had nothing bad to say about it, except I I don't know what your budget was, whatever. I know that CGI Megazord was not cheaper than doing it. What do they call it? Um,
Yeah, like the role play, like the
Yeah,
actual
this.
material.
Yeah. What man? I was like, dude, I can't wait to see it. They're gonna be in the Zord. Man, we get the Zords back. They're gonna have a cool fight. It was dude, it looked like it was made from a Apple 8 Macintosh, dude. You suck for that, man. You gotta suck for that. Other than that, I loved it. You been at Megazords CGI? We've never no one does that. To this day, it's still done practical. That's where practical. Bro, man, you could have a guy get in that damn suit and make a small city or whatever you guys did. I hated that. That's all. You?
So I enjoyed it. So the way the movie opens is probably the best part of the whole movie. It was like you're in it. Like it just starts and you're like, yo, I was taking pictures. I was like, this is amazing. What is going on right now? It was just good. It was fun. I mean, the tribute to Trini as a character and at the end, showing all of them together. That was it's a nice touch, but the story, it wasn't forced. Like it didn't feel like a forced tribute to her as a person.
No.
And they built it into the story with her daughter, and that was cool. Like watching her train and kind of the whole journey of it. Like it's about it, right? Like why can't she morph? Well, she can't morph because she wants revenge. She's not after justice. Like it's not the right motivation. That's why the morpher's not working. That's why it only worked once she saved Billy from the beam. So that experience, but dude, just seeing everybody, like you seen Kate coming back as a Pink Ranger. Rocky was there, but then you also see Aisha and you see Adam, like and those aren't even the OGs, right? Like they're not the original Rangers, but even seeing them as because that were that next group, that was the next group where you were like,
I was still connected at that
time. We were still watching. You know what I'm saying? Like it was after that group that our generation kind of was like, okay, this is a kids thing. Like most people kind of you paid attention, but you weren't really in it anymore. You know what I'm saying? But that group was still important. It wasn't as impactful as Tommy, Jason, Kimberly, Trini, Zach, and Billy, but we were still like the Power Rangers movie had some of those characters in it, like the first one. So like when they got their ninja suits, those were the Rangers that were there. Tommy and Kimberly were still there, but
I watched it through Ninjetti. I watched it through Turbo, and then that's where I kind of fell off.
Yeah, I think Turbo was where I fell off.
So those guys, they mean something to me. Like I love them guys. So I was still in there, and I love how they were like, Tommy, he's dead, Trini's dead, but it was cool that they were like, so there's a chance we could bring him back. Like we could reverse this, we could still get him. You know what I'm saying? Like I love that they did that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I took away from it a lot. I love that. And then for Amy Jo Johnson to be like, oh, they weren't trying to give me enough money or whatever. You totally it went over your head. I
don't know how much truth to that. There's always rumors, right? Like maybe the schedule didn't work, maybe it was a money thing. I don't know.
She ain't doing shit.
She should have been in it. Like you're still around. You're clearly right now with Jason David Frank's passing. You're the most powerful living original, like the most popular living original Ranger. Like
they were in the last movie together.
Right. Like you're out here, probably have the biggest line, signs the most autographs. So like it would have been really nice to see her. That being said, what was her name? Catherine Sutherland. She did a great job, like as a Pink Ranger. Yeah. And you get so in the past, Power Rangers like movies or whatever that have come out. Because I do try to pay attention to those like crossover movies that Jason David Frank did where they're all together and whatever. So in one of those movies, Tommy and Kat are married and they have a kid, and you don't see him, but there's like a bike or something, and he's like, "Yo, move your bike out of here." And he's like, "Oh yeah, sorry, Dad," and he moves the bike or whatever. And here now with Tommy being turned into small or whatever, we don't ever see him. We kind of hear his voice, but she references it like, our son or whatever. He doesn't have to know. So the legacy of the Green Ranger. There's going to be something with that because there's no way that you kind of allude to it twice now. Maybe we get another movie soon where the Green Ranger ends up, biting the dust and his son takes up the mantle I seen some stuff online that was kind of strange, but I guess it depends on who your favorite Ranger is, right? Because Tommy wasn't the Green Ranger for a long time. Like that was a very short amount of time. Yet a lot of us identify more with the Green Ranger or like him better than the White Ranger or than the various versions of Red Ranger that Tommy
My favorite's the
was.
White Ranger.
Though I loved all of them, but like I like the Green Ranger. I just like the way that he looked. The White Ranger's dope with the
Oh,
Tiger Zord. I got Saba. You can see it back here in the corner. Like I have, you can't see the dagger, but I have Zaba, all kinds of shit over there. So obviously Tommy's my favorite Ranger, just like 90% of every other Power Ranger fan. But there was people online like, why the Green Ranger? Like, why is it always the Green Ranger? Why couldn't it be the White Ranger? Why couldn't? And I guess I get that to an extent, but I feel like the Green Ranger is the most popular. Like it's not the White Ranger. Jason David Frank himself was the most popular, but when you look at his Ranger interpretations, people like the
yeah.
Green Ranger better.
But I get it because by the time this stuff would have happened, he would have been the White Ranger.
Right. Yeah. He definitely would have.
If we're going OGs, you know. But I get it, man. Dude, the Dragon Zord.
The Dragon Zord is
flu,
fire. The flu.
Dude, him beating all the Power Rangers' ass at the same time. Dude,
at the same time, and 1v1
in their Megazord and beat their ass. Like, dude, okay, the Green Rangers, like, epicness, like, dude, it's not even close.
It's not.
So I get that, you know what I'm saying? But like you said, it was short, but it wasn't that short. I can't remember how long it was.
So the Green Rangers saga was 6 episodes. That's how long he was evil for. It was, and I know this because I will randomly go back and watch it. Like I'll go on Netflix and watch the Green Ranger saga. It's 6 episodes long. And then he loses, they beat him or whatever. And eventually Zordon's like, okay, well, you could join the squad or whatever as a Green Ranger. But even then, that saga, I can't tell you how many episodes, isn't long because the power coin stops working because it's an evil coin. So then they have to go find, a new power.
Yeah, because I knew the saga went a little longer because I remember the Dragon Zord and the Megazord mixing together.
Yeah, they would combine. So like once he becomes a good guy, with the staff, that Megazord was fire, bro. When the Dragon Zord and all the other ones combined, it was so good. It was so it was Triceratops. No, did they need Triceratops? Yeah, Triceratops and the Saber-tooth Tiger were the legs, like always. But because the Dragon Zord was the middle body, they didn't need that.
Yeah.
And then we had the arms. We didn't need Pterodactyl either, I think. And then he had that big ass staff. It was just cool, man. Like the Green Ranger was the cool. Dude, I promise you, dog. I won't say it's monthly, but every so often I'll go back on there and watch the Green Ranger dust the Power Rangers. Like he's giving it to him. It was just so cool. It was just so cool.
I don't know. I just love the White Ranger, man. That song is like embedded in my head, dude. Yeah, man. And then when the Zord came out, White Ranger, Tiger Power, White, and it was like running, kicking up the dust and shit. And then like Saba would talk to him, and he could throw it in the air, and they had like laser beam vision. Like man, like the White Ranger was colder than the white. And then his chest plate was black and gold, like, and he had the gold on the head.
He looked cool. Like when he came out, I was like, okay, the White Ranger is that dude. Like it was just cool.
Yeah, and it was cool that they were like, his goodness and strength was so awesome. He like the white was him, white, like he created the white coin and everything like man, like man,
it was cool. It was cool. I mean,
Power Rangers, I definitely enjoyed it, except for the CGI Megazord. Did you like that?
No, it was awful. The CGI was absolutely atrocious. Dude, I was just focusing on the good, but the CGI was so bad.
Than just doing a practical. Like
it was just bad. It was the worst. But the CGI in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, was better than the CGI in this movie. Like Ivan Ooze and the damn robots look better CGI wise from a movie 20-something years ago than the CGI in this movie. It was insane, bro.
And dude, if your whole career or whatever is based off practical stuff, keep it practical. Like in the movies when they did the CGI, I was a kid and I was like, oh man, it's cool. Looking back at it now, I'm like, dude, you could have just kept it practical. It looks way cooler.
It just looked bad.
It looks cooler. Like it's there. You know what I'm saying?
The prosthetics that's what makes it cool. Like
yeah, and we know what it is. You know what I'm saying? it's Godzilla mixed with ninja. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's what it is, man. And your budget ain't ever gonna be big enough
No, never is.
to do
I tried to
no
look at what the
Ant-Man or
budget was and I couldn't find it.
Do no Iron Man CGI.
I couldn't find the budget. I was
But
like, I
dude,
wonder what the budget was for this.
me and Rob were arguing about the other day. He said he's like, no, what do you say? He said practical effects are more or better than CGI, and he was saying like there's no classic CGI scenes. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, there's no classic CGI movies where the guy was CGI. I'm like, Iron Man, like, all CGI, buddy, and that's legendary. Like, what are we talking about here, man? Like, there's no legendary CGI movies. Every Marvel movie up to date, you know, I know there's practicalness there, but like, we'll just say, like I said, Iron Man, just like you can't do that. You can't do Iron Man practical. You know, some here and there, but yeah. But I mean, I prefer practical. Like I like the practical suit of Blue Beetle. Loving it.
Yeah, no, that looks cool. That looks cool for sure. I'm trying to see like if there was anything. So apparently David Yost and Walter Jones are hinting at more to come. Hinting at more to come is what I'll say.
Well, I mean, look at man. Like I'm not trying to talk down or they ain't got nothing going on.
No,
and then
I mean this is it.
Hey, and this movie generating a little buzz and stuff. Hey, let's go.
So they had an interview on Inverse, I guess. So once a Ranger, always a Ranger. That should be a clue that you never stop being a Power Ranger. And he said, our fan base are adults at this point. It was important we give them a mature version of Power Rangers so they would be engaged as opposed to what we did in the 90s that was geared towards children. Walter and I got to have some dramatic and serious scenes, which they did. There was a lot of like, how do I explain, that was fun because we never got to do that before. The actor praised the 16-year-old co-star Charlie Kirsch, which was Trini's daughter. And then just in general. It was good. I thought it was fun.
Oh yeah, I was definitely happy about it.
The CGI was bad though. Like there's no excuse.
I like they did with Rita because she's dead and gone. They made like a robot like thing. Cool. Super cool.
Yeah, Robo Rita.
Rita. I think they did it right, man. I think
I mean, and it was a combination of Rita's soul and like Alpha's body, and then so we got a new version of Alpha. It's good, man. I'm in it. I'm in it.
No, I enjoyed it, man. Except for the CGI, man. You guys blew me with that, but other than that, I loved it.
He said, hopefully because of the hype, it goes well and we'll continue and maybe do more. As the title says, once a Ranger, always a Ranger.
Yeah,
once and always, once a Ranger, always a team.
Netflix don't put that out.
No. So it was a top, but you can tell always by like where in the top 10 it is. So like sometimes a movie comes out and it's at the top and then it falls off right away. That just means there was a burst when it came out. But if it remains in that top 10 for like weeks, then people were in it. People were into it. And I feel like a lot of people probably watched it. It was only 50 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a long, it was more of a special than a movie.
Yeah, and I was gonna say too, like you're talking about horror fans and stuff like that. Dude, I think we're moving the needle a lot more than people think because if you go to like a top 10 on Netflix, I think The Snowman is a movie from like 2017.
Oh, I remember the scary movie. I remember that movie.
It's like it's one of the top movies in the world right now. I mean, on Netflix, but I'm saying like we watch like there's no other place you want to go to watch a horror movie. I don't want to rent it and watch it at home. You want to go to the movies and be immersed in that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like it's an experience being a horror movie fan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I get scared.
You know, well, you gotta like it. The adrenaline that it causes is different.
Yeah.
At a movie theater.
For sure. Dude, like man, yeah, like where else would you want to watch a horror movie but at the theaters? Like for like that's the only you get it. The whole theater is dark. It's super loud, so every jump scare is extra jumpy, just because of the environment you're in. You know what I'm saying? And then you're free to scream or yell or be because you're there with people that are like-minded and all about the same thing. So the horror movie people, we come out, we show out. If it's good, we're gonna go see it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in it. I thought I'm in for anything that makes the movie theaters make money because it's one of my favorite things to do. Like, I hope we never live or I never reach the day where going to the movies isn't a thing. Like,
Yeah,
I don't ever want to see that.
dude, that would be this. I mean, like top sad. It would be one of the saddest days of my life if movies weren't in theaters.
It would be tough.
You know?
So one last thing I want to talk to you about, because I sent this over to you and I think you had a good point. So I wanted to talk through it in general. So everything happens in cycle. Passions happen in cycle. Actually, I lied. There's two things. There's one thing I want to tell you about that I just remembered. Hopefully I don't forget. Let me write it down. Anyways, so right now the cycle is because of your cell phone, I imagine, because mobile gaming is the number one revenue generating form of video games right now by a lot, not even close.
Yeah.
So we're getting more mobile consoles. Before, like the Switch obviously took a hell of advantage on that. The Switch is going bananas still today. We need an upgrade because the system's super old, and even when it came out, it wasn't that great. But it's successful. Like anything Nintendo, they killed it with that. So from that and the cell phones being a thing, other companies are like, okay, we need to get a piece of that pie or figure out a way to just monetize it. There are many versions. I'm only going to talk about two today. There are different companies out here with different price ranges on handhelds. But the Steam Deck is an amazing piece of machinery. The price is decent. It's a Steam machine, though. Like, it is designed for you to play Steam games on it. It has a desktop mode. On the desktop mode, there's a store. You can download like third-party applications that allow you to side load other games. There's a workaround so that you can play Microsoft Game Pass games on there. Like I played Battlefield on it the other day. I was like, what? Is a cloud version of it, but it worked. It
That's
wasn't
crazy.
too laggy. And I'm playing Battlefield 2042 on a handheld console. Like, that just feels great.
See, I understand that totally.
So it's a different level. Like, all that to say is that we're going to talk about the differences, but there's another player coming in. So Asus is coming in with the Rogue Ally. And this thing, the Steam Deck is really bulky. It's heavy. The battery is atrocious. But what it does well, it does really well. And it's cool. And the price point ranges from 400 to 750, depending on what you want to do. There's a couple of versions of them. So the Rogue Ally got announced on April 1st. And everyone thought it was an April Fool's joke because it's April 1st. Like, who the hell does that? Like, know your audience.
Yeah.
So they announce it. But this feels more like a gaming device. It looks like it. It's white. It's slimmer. It has RGBs on the thumbsticks. It has offsetting thumbsticks like an Xbox controller. And everyone knows the Xbox controller layout is the best controller layout. Like, all of that is there. And it runs Windows 11. So now there's no side loading on this thing. It's going to be play. So their tagline is actually really cool. Let me go to their website because it's like, whoever thought of it, like, yeah, buddy, this is why you make the big bucks. Because it's simple, but it's like, yeah, this is it. So it's just called the Rogue Ally Gaming Handheld is what it's called. It says Windows 11, obviously. Then it says playtime anytime. But the tagline, where is it? I just saw it. Damn, my ear itches. It says like play any game library or some shit like that. Like, when I saw it, I was like, yeah, this makes sense to me. I can't find it. I wish I would have remembered. It was just so good. I was like, this is it. So there's just different things, but that changes things because I can sideload shit on my Steam Deck, but this is gonna have a better screen. They developed a processor in conjunction with who was it? I just got my email. It was in my email today. I wish I was better prepared, guys. I just was reading about it. I was reading about it on my work computer though, otherwise I would have it up already.
Yeah, because like, okay, so to me, why are you looking at that? Whatever. To me, I get the um need or want for a handheld. With the Steam Deck, I think it was just like, okay, we never been able to play games like this. It's something that you just want to be like, I have it. That's my feeling on the Steam Deck. No disrespect to somebody who loves it, plays all the time, and that's your thing. Cool. But someone like me, I can play video games whenever I want. My girl don't get mad at me. Like, you know, some people can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So you could grab your Steam Deck, you sit on the couch and play Battlefield in your hands. You know what I'm saying? There's, you know, I can't argue against that. Like that.
So I,
That's
I rarely play it like that. I play it more. So I got it because it was the newest and greatest, and I always do that.
yeah. That's what I'm
But
saying.
it's its appeal to me is the same as a Switch. Is when I leave my house to do other things, I have the ability to play high quality non Nintendo games. So like
Yeah.
I'm going on vacation, it's coming with me. How many hours do I spend in an airport on an international trip? Like that's a long time. I just sit in a corner, hotspot my phone. I'm playing whatever I want to play, whether it's a single player game, a multiplayer game. So like if you're always on the road, it's invaluable. And if you're always and now with the Rogue Ally, because it's Windows, that should changes things because everything like being able your game libraries, I found it. So here's the tagline: all your games, anytime, anywhere. Perfection, bro. Like there's no what more can you say to that? Like, oh yeah, let me do that. But by it
Make
being
it,
Windows, it's basically a computer. So now you have native Game Pass on there because it's a Windows device. You can get Steam on there. Unfortunately, all of these gaming things on PC have their own launcher. But as of today, right now, EA Origin works on there. Green Man Gaming works on there. Like when they say all your games anytime, anywhere, like it is legit and it feels real. Like PlayStation Remote Play, I can't get that to work on my Steam Deck right now. I'm sure there's a way to do it. I just haven't done it. On this thing, super simple. So like, and it looks smaller, it looks lighter. The price point, no one knows yet. They're gonna announce that on May 11th. Um, but I think it's gonna be anywhere from 600 to 800 bucks. And the coolest part to me is they have this dock. The dock is crazy expensive. It already exists for their tablets, but they have this dock that is basically a 4090 graphics card. So like better than the graphics card I have in my computer right now. I have a 4080 and you can connect it to the dock and it basically turns into a super gaming computer, bro. It's just
that's
nuts. It's just nuts.
just you talking about it makes me kind of want one.
It's just really cool. So we'll see what the price matters everything. There's other handhelds out there that are better than the Steam Deck, but they cost $900, $1,000. It's too much. There's too much money. The Steam Deck is at the right price point. This Ally probably is going to match up with the highest tier Steam Deck, which is 750, I think. So it's going to be in that price range. But we'll see, man. I mean, we'll see. Like the email that I got to said, "Hey, let me know when it's available." It says with the Rogue Ally, you can access any game library, play all your games anywhere you go, thanks to its native Windows 11 OS and powerful components. Play it on the go, pair it with a controller, or hook it up to the RGX mobile external GPU and your mouse and keyboard for a complete desktop experience. All of the versatility you would expect from a handheld console with all of the power you expect from Rogue gaming device. I think out of all of them, depending on what it costs, because that's important, this is going to be nuts. And then there's rumors of Sony releasing another handheld. It's been years since they've done that. So, like with the world of remote play and cloud gaming, which everyone's fighting for, Sony this year, the rumor is this year, Sony's going to unveil a handheld gaming device. What that looks like, this is why when I texted you and you were like, I don't think nobody wants it because of cell phones, and I think we should talk about that here for a moment. But it's going to be very dependent, just like this one is, on what path are you going. So if Sony goes and says it's not going to be a very powerful device, but you're going to be able to remote play your PlayStation games on it with a controller format, and it's only going to cost you $250 or $300, like that is going to sell. Like people
There's
are
no
going to
game
eat that
buster.
up
Well, because look
because
at
people like me, I use my iPad right now. or my phone with the backbone attached to it to remote play my PlayStation when I'm in the living room watching the Bucks or whatever. I'll play like the show. But if you give me a dedicated device that I can stream from with PlayStation controllers attached to it at 250, I'm doing that. That's one way they can do it. Cloud gaming, remote play.
Yeah.
Now, if it's a device like the Steam Deck or the Ally that is an actual component and it plays games natively and it has beefed up stuff, I don't know if you can sell a handheld device at $600. Like you'd have a hard time selling consoles at $600, like regular ones.
Yeah, and then the thing is the market. So for market for handhelds are children and probably people at 25. That's probably their market. And when you're selling some for 500 and up, you're missing that whole market. So I don't understand the point of making handhelds anymore. That's just my opinion on it, especially a PlayStation one, because it's probably going to play PlayStation exclusives. It's probably going to be, like you said, like more of a Game Boy type device. Like that, I mean, there's no need for that stuff no more, man.
I don't know. I think the point you made on a text message was like, with phones, like, do we really need it? And that's a good point. Like I said, I bought a backbone.
PlayStation, yeah, because you can only play PlayStation games on PlayStation stuff. So if it's good enough to run, say, the newest God of War or Event Horizon, whatever, I haven't got to play none of those games. And if it's like the $250, $300 market, I would think about buying one just so I could play those games.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So PlayStation standpoint, I get it. All these other guys that are starting to come out of the woodwork now, I don't know. And then like Steam Deck, there's a waiting list. You know, they did gangbusters. You know, because
it's you can get one now. You can get one now easy, but it took a minute.
No, but yeah, that's what I mean. But now you're trying to come behind that.
Yeah,
I don't see a market for it.
Yeah, I don't know.
If I have a Steam Deck, I don't want that shit because I just paid tons of money for this thing.
Yeah,
and then whoever didn't get a Steam Deck ain't looking to pay that much money for that thing anyways, because they could have got a Steam Deck.
Right.
So I don't see the market for it, but you know, you're trying to get money and stuff. But I don't see it.
I think it's literally, the market's probably tiny, but it's for dedicated gamers. Like this thing, like the processor, the Z1, whatever they put in it. I was looking on the actual website of the manufacturer because that's how I found out. I found out that there was a let me know thing because Asus sent me an email about, here's our newest mobile processor and it's in the Ally. And I was like, oh shit, let me, and then you kind of start speedballing it. Like this is a powerful device, more powerful than the Steam Deck, with a better screen, 1920 by 1080. Like it is an HD screen and it looks the part. Like the Steam Deck looks like a Game Gear to me. It just does. It's really big and bulky and it feels like it's big and bulky. The market's not that much, but who knows how much it costs. I think with this though, the difference between this and the Steam Deck specifically is if I am building a computer and I have the money to build a gross one, right? Like I'm gonna spend $3,000 on a computer. There's not a lot of people that do that, but I'm gonna do it, right? I'm an enthusiast. Instead of building it from scratch, I think this is a viable option. I buy this handheld for $700 or $800. I buy the dock for $2,000 that has a 4090 in it. And now not only can I play Battlefield at max settings on my monitor, I can pick that bitch up and leave and go play it on the road. Like that is crazy. That is absolutely insane. So it also shows you what the Switch Pro could look like, or the Switch 2. Like how much better could that be? Because they're the ones with the concept, right? Like the Switch is what did it. I have a handheld Switch. If I dock it has better graphics, and I can play it on my TV.
The thing that would sell me on a handheld will be a dedicated paying service, like a T-Mobile or something like that, where like I don't have to hotspot or nothing like that.
So 5G,
dedicated 5G or whatever. Yeah. If you bring out a handheld with something like that, I'm in.
So Sony had like, remember the phone? They had a phone and it was at like a built-in controller Like it was like a slide phone, and then it had a built-in
Hmm.
controller on the bottom. I think it was like Xperia or some shit like that.
Yeah, and you paid a monthly fee to play on their internet and play the Net Geo, Netgear, Net. One of them had something like that too. I remember like there was a service you pay for and you could play online wherever you go. It had a dedicated server like that. Like I don't see how the something like that wouldn't, but
I think there's a bigger market than you think. So
oh, for sure,
I
but small
think
mondanities.
one of the biggest challenges for gaming companies now or hardware companies. So the way I view mobile gaming is the way I viewed Nintendo in the past. Like Nintendo was the gateway for young people to play video games. That's just how it was. Mobile gaming is more than that. Not only is it the gateway for young people to play, it's the gateway for old people to play. The older folks that play simple ass games. Like, sorry if that offends anyone, but that's just the reality. Like the older generation that wasn't really into gaming now are playing all these dumbass games on phones, and they're cash cows, and they're making a ton of money out of them. So the biggest challenge to me isn't what the next and biggest console is. It's what Microsoft is probably trying to capture. It's how do I convert these younger people with phones that don't necessarily care about consoles or computers, or this older generation that's only focused on this particular type of game. If I can capture even 20% of that crowd and make a device or a service that can reach them, we're talking about billions of dollars.
What
And no one's been able to do that.
look at PUBG. Like, sorry to say, you people on the phone, pick up the sticks and come see me. It's not happening.
It's not
Which
the
is fine
same.
though.
It's not the same.
Yeah, yeah. But it did gangbusters like
Dog, all of those games.
PUBG Mobile.
Still one of the bigger games in the world. People still
Yeah.
playing that shit.
But I and like someone like me, I have no want or need. I tried it a couple times, whatever and stuff. It's just easy, easy. You know, I'm getting chicken dinners, left
It
and right
was
on there.
easy.
You know what I'm saying? And then I'll piece somebody that, oh, you play PUBG? I'm like, yeah, yeah. Oh, I play PUBG Mobile, man. Like, I'm like,
But
it's,
even on that, like it's good
but
you
it's
say that
cool
because
though
I
that
was
it
gonna
brings.
it brings more audience, but that's all I was gonna say. So like even if Sony releases something to remote play, like I can do that here. Like I got the backbone, I put the controller on, I make my phone
And
a
it's
full
cheaper.
controller handheld. It costs $99. I turn on I log into the remote play. I play the show on my phone using a controller, a legit controller my phone is embedded into. So like it would have to be something
Or
amazing.
you can get Game Pass on your phone. I have
Yeah,
you.
I play Game Pass on my phone and my iPad all the time.
Yeah, and most of our phone screens are better than the TVs these people are playing on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't get the point of it, but like, I've never been a handheld gamer except when I was a little kid and Game Boy first dropped. Obviously, because it was the hot thing. I
Yeah,
was a gamer then. But once online hit and I had like my headset, dedicated servers, and I'm on there, like that shit was dead to me. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. If you can find a nice price point with all those little things in there, stuff, which you're not gonna be able to do, that's where it would go because that's why Nintendo was handheld king forever. It was at a good price, tons of games, and from little kids to mid adults. You know, what I'm saying it's money, but when you put on a handheld system for $500-600, I don't see it.
I think so. Like on the Steam Deck, I can, I plug in a regular headset. Like I can, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
it's a different level, but I get what you're saying. Like who realistically, if I can't buy a PlayStation for $509 right now with God of War bundled in, I'm not gonna buy a $750 handheld. It's just not gonna happen. Like if I can't buy a $499 Xbox, but I don't think that's the audience, is what I'm saying. Like I don't think that's
yeah, but then the audience they're
necessarily who
going
they're getting.
after already has a Steam Deck.
No, I don't think that many. Let's see how much the Steam Deck sold. I don't know how much it
No,
sold.
but I'm saying the audience that they're going for, look at the Steam Deck numbers. That's what you're getting. And they already have a Steam Deck or they're in line for a Steam Deck. They're not going to shell out another $1,000 for your stuff. It's too late.
So what's the date on this? That's super old.
See, when Sony put out their handheld, they were offering something different. Like, hey,
Yeah.
Nintendo's cartridges, that's good as it's gonna get. Come over here to Sony, we got discs, better screen, better graphics, all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That thing you're talking about, like it offers, has better screen or whatever, and it's stronger and whatnot, but it ain't too far from what is already there. Like, what are you trying to sell me on?
So I think the key difference is the operating system. So like the Steam Deck runs on Linux, and there are games I can't play because, for example, shooting
I'm
games.
surprised
So
you got to
like
play Battlefield on that thing.
because it's on the cloud. So like using Game Pass is streaming off of the cloud, and the latency wasn't bad. Like I was able to play the game, but like I can't say I wanted to play Call of Duty. I can't play Call of Duty on a Steam Deck because it has an anti cheat. Like I can't play Fortnite because Epic isn't on the Steam Deck unless I sideload it through a different app. Like Apex lets you play, and I don't know how they got the anti-cheat working on there natively, but like it's a problem. Like on a Windows device, that won't be a problem. It's a
Yeah, yeah, well,
computer.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
You do whatever you want. The
you do
options are
whatever you
endless.
want. That ability alone will get people to
Yeah.
buy
And the people that bought a Steam Deck are probably pissed.
it.
They're like, "Oh,
We'll
I want
see.
that. I want that.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
just
mean, they
spent
well, no, right? So
$700 on that."
On May 11th, they're going to announce the price, and pre-orders go live that day, and the device will launch shortly after. We'll know if they convert Steam Deck people if you see a big ass amount of people selling Steam Decks online. Like if you see the used Steam Deck market going crazy, or the trade-in market at the
They
last
took them.
GameStop on Earth that's still running. That's when you'll
But,
know.
but from the way you're talking about it, I think anybody who would is going to want to trade up. It's just nobody wants to be in a box. You know what I'm saying? And Steam Deck probably didn't see another thing coming. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
probably not. I
They're
mean,
like,
you
hey,
can so you can run Windows on a Steam Deck. It's just not native. So like my cousin has it running. You can install Windows onto an SD card. You can put the SD card in the Steam Deck and run Windows off of the SD card and then unlock it. But it's
it's too
not
much.
on it's not on it. Not everyone knows how to do it. He says it's relatively simple, but he's also been building computers since he was 10. So like what's simple
Yeah.
for him is not simple for you. Like Ray's not
Yeah.
gonna
And that's
install
the
this on
reason,
an
and
SD
that's the
card and
reason
put it
why
in a
the
console.
consoles aren't going nowhere until they force
Yeah, because
people
it's
out of
too easy.
consoles.
It's too easy.
You know
You
what I
turn
mean?
it on and you play.
Yeah, that's what I want. That's what anybody wants, pretty much.
Dude, their Twitter literally is just a picture of the console with the RGB lights lit up and it says Rogue Ally hashtag play all your games. It's just perfect. Like this is the marketing campaign is gonna be too easy. Too easy. All right, y'all. So I wanted to just share that with you guys. Get excited. Gaming ain't going nowhere. Billions and billions
What's
of
the other thing?
dollars are out here.
If you want to run that over quick or no?
What?
The thing you wrote down?
Oh shit. Yeah, I forgot all about it. So um I was watching a video, somebody sent it to me. I don't know how long ago this was, but Vanilla Ice was like, why is everybody, have you seen it? They asked him,
Nope.
why is everybody still stuck on the 90s? And then he was like, when he said it, I was like, you might be right. So he said, you know why everyone's stuck on the 90s? Because it was the last decade before technology took over our lives. He was like, in 2004, when phones became a real thing and the iPhone started popping off, originality isn't really a thing. Like in the 90s, and he explained it really well, better than me, but he was like, in the 90s, like pop culture was the only thing. So like if you were a rapper and the way that you dressed showed you like what type of genre you're in. If you're a rock star, like that all had to do it. Like neon colors, bright lights, like it was all 90s. And I started thinking about it. He's probably right, bro, because since then, we've spent the last 2.5 decades living in it. Like anything that came out in the 90s, nostalgia wise, we eat that shit up because there isn't anything like he's right. Once Apple So cell phones were around before Apple, but what Apple did was they made it accessible for you to get a cell phone. All of these companies owe all their money to Apple because Apple was one of the first or the first people to say, you don't have to buy this phone outright. You can get it for $200. Just sign up for a new plan. and then that's what started all of it.
Yeah,
Just
well, because
crazy.
now the way everything's set up, it's all waves.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? If something's hit, like if a movie's hot and it did good, you're gonna see a bunch of copycats. Same thing with music. Like Drake, people love Drake, and I hate Drake. Not all the time. I still like Drake, but like most of the time, whatever music's hot, his next album will have beats or music in that wave. You know what I'm saying? Back in the 90s, every rapper wanted to be better than the next guy did. They didn't want to sound like the other person at all. You know what I'm saying? Take my top 5 rappers from like the 90s, almost early 2000s, because they bled in there, to now whatever. They all sound different, one of their own sound, and that's how you made it, by sounding different. Now you make it by sounding like what's cool. You know what I'm saying? And that's all it is. And and then now everybody has a say. Everybody can comment on something. You know what I'm saying? And the companies are like, oh, if it's big enough, we'll change it, which can be good. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's more bad than good, depending. You know what I'm saying? But with Sonic, they put that first trailer out. People are like, that looks trash.
Yeah,
and enough people said it looked trash. They fixed it. Amazing. The gangbusters. They're on their way to a third. Oh, Knuckles has his own show coming out on Paramount, and Kid Cudi, I think, is going to voice Knuckles, and Knuckles going to share. But that's what I'm saying. That's good, But then the bad, like Call of Duty, Warzone 2 comes out. People hate it. They want to be more like Warzone 1. So you totally take your new game and you revamp it to appease people crying on the internet. You know what I'm saying? So there's a good and bad, but yeah, man, I miss the 90s on originality. It was original.
Yeah, so I found it. He said this a while ago. It was like in 2021. But he said, I think my sister sent it to me today, and I thought it was something we could talk about. He was like, it was the last decade where fashion and music played off of each other, and people created cool stuff that's still trendy today. He points to the invention of the iPhone, and then he said, he talked about like Blockbuster. It was just different. Like the creating of excitement, it wasn't a different type of wave. Like if a movie was good, you had to go see it. Like there wasn't pirating, or it wasn't on demand, or it wasn't on, like, dude, if you didn't see it at the movies, you weren't watching that sucker for like 18 months until it hit Blockbuster. And then if you didn't rent it there, you had to wait another 3 or 4 months before they let you buy it. So like it was just different. Like everything had to be experienced in real life. You weren't experiencing it through technology.
Like SWAT Cats, it's from the, boom, it's coming back. Like everything from the 90s, it's coming back, man, because it was cool. It was cool. And then everything that's still popular now was popular then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I agree with Vanilla Ice on that, but I don't know if he was saying it like in a negative way or whatever like that, but outside of the 90s, you ain't got no damn career, no life, man. So I don't know if he meant that in a bad way or a good way, but
you don't like Ice Ice Baby? Come on now.
Oh, I love that song. Still to this day, I still bang it.
Go Ninja, go Ninja, go Ninja.
Yeah, and I love
it.
Yeah, dude. Go. His whole longevity and stuff is built off.
For sure, nostalgia.
But yeah, I totally understand it, man, for sure.
All right, y'all. Thanks for stopping by. Newest episode of the Nerd Related Podcast. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us. Subscribe here on YouTube. And let us know what you think. The interaction is what matters. It's going to drive us. It's going to help us. Our streams should be dedicated place for you guys to come hang out with us and talk to us as you guys kind of go. Even if you don't like video games, pop in, say hi. Make sure you guys are out here, interacting with us. But hit the subscribe. Thanks for stopping by.
Until later, nerds.